So Lillia is still a good champion. Yeah, she got nerfed, she was way too broken in the season, but she's honestly performing pretty damn well on average, and I think most junglers are just struggling to really drive her into that next level. Because they don't understand that she's a decent skirmisher, and that farming, while it's not as potent as it has been, is still by far her most effective way to play the game. It's a little close. So what are we looking to do as a Lillia here to make her effective? Also, we're against El Graves. For Lillia, you are straight up looking for that nice full sequence. You're looking to maybe gank an edge lane and take a Skull Crab, reset, maybe look for a gank thereafter, and then do another sequence. And if you can cut into do grubs, you cut into do grubs. That's basically your reality. And Graves will like to do the same thing and also control your jungle camps, take all of your soul, and maybe one-tap you later on. So in this particular situation, we are doing our blue side here. We got a leash. I don't mind kind of going bottom to top here, but the question is, where's the Graves starting? Now, you see that he's not starting on the red. So when you go for this, you have that information, which means now he's pathing down, you're pathing up, which is Lillia. That's fine. I don't mind kind of contesting things as Lillia. You got the movement speed, you got the damage, and depending on the lanes, you might have the prior. Obviously, we don't have the prior here. But you absolutely must head to Virkayu.gg. Not only do I have a free jungle improvement resource, I also have a dedicated program with jungle video courses, jungle coaching, coaching classes, a jungle VOD library, special weekly content you'll see nowhere else, as well as all of this hosted in a private jungle Discord. And if there is one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers go from low elo to high elo, as seen by the great number of success stories from the end of last season and already the beginning of season 14. So to climb faster than everybody you know and to jungle diff every game you play, head to Virkayu.gg or click the link in the description below. I've made a lot of content recently showing that you don't need to only play around bottom lane because people have this misconception that it's always a bottom lane meta. Look, bottom lanes will snowball and win game 100%. Like, 100% they can do that. But ADC and, that duo lane in general is often not played well enough by most ranks to actually harness the full potential. It's a skill-based role, ADC. And while that means that they shouldn't be complaining as much because it's largely a skill issue, which is true, at the same time, you can also win games by playing around mid lane, by playing around top lane. So many times you can get free wins. But the Lillia really doesn't care about any of this because you are your own win condition. You are the win condition of most games. You've got to understand where that power comes from. So Graves is down here. We'll know that it's Lillia. We see the Zac sag off of the shoved wave, which is obviously good. We'll assume it's warded in case we miss something. We don't need to hit that, because we straight up know. We straight up know that he started topside because we had this, which means what we want to do is place our ward right here so we can track his respawn. So I can track if he's going to grubs or if he's going to grub. And on that point, you can go ahead and do these, the Scuttle Crab, and leave a ward here. But the problem is, this ward will die by the time grubs spawn. So, we watch bottom lane, we see our bottom lane kill and die, and then overpush and kill and die to the Graves, as can be expected. Graves will watch you try and do the exact same thing to the Zac. Obviously, Lillia is a good one for Zac because the percentage damage is what you need to kill that son of a bitch. And we do it, and we do it well. Good job. Now Graves would have shoved bottom lane with 24 CS when you press tab, and then you see him go up to the Scuttle Crab. Cool. Now for Lillia, it's time to go back to base to protect the bottom side respawn. Graves would most likely do the same thing, but I could see him looking at this Jace with a bit of a funky eye. Let's see what he does. Does he just go ward? He does go ward. Now he looks to trap. I don't even hate this. I don't even hate the sneak. I like this. I like the balls on this guy because I will do this on champions that can farm quickly and when I have a smite available, especially if I have a smite available. But you have to pay attention to two things, and people really do that. And those two things happen to be the ADC and the support. Because if your lane is crashing and you have your support, cool, right? That's good. Then this makes a lot of sense. Doing it now, when your bottom lane are in base, is not so good. And that therein is the difficult decision for a jungler, because you see that this is respawning, you're getting that deep vision. The deep vision is fine. Like, you can sag off here and go back to base now. The vision is good. All you need is the vision. Because what you want to play for is top lane, ooh, or the respawn, or this, ooh, or this. You've got a few plays you can make here, right? So while the Graves does this over here, and we should be looking at the mid lane a little bit. Okay, we look at the mid lane. As you see that, I would probably want to cut back in. You can see the Jace is going all in here on the Xerath. Maybe we can do something. That's more important than the ward and the grub. So you got to keep your eyes up to look for the cut. Now, if you do miss that and you go for this ward, obviously I don't think we need to go this deep. The Grump is fine, but whatever. Now I see this, I'm immediately moving back towards it. I'm like, yes. Like, this should be something that I think 80% chance I can react to and I can do something about, right? I know he's got flash, but maybe I can still hit a nice Q against the wall. Maybe I can hit a nice W. Maybe we can still do something here. This, though, will only work if your bottom lane have already based, already in position to dive and to shove, and you're not going to get collapsed upon 3v1. Obviously, this particular stage, you can see that we are going to get shoved upon 3v1. Graves is able to... No, and he didn't even get it. Don't do this. I like the aggression, as I said, but it has to be intelligent aggression, not blind, dumb, I want the Grump aggression. He didn't track his bottom lane, he didn't look at the Jace whatsoever. And look, like that's a kill 100%. And we didn't even get the Grump. So a complete waste of time, a complete loss of tempo, and how will the Lillia punish his soul? Let's see. Okay, so he does the Grump. He's going to topside 99%. Alright, she's going to go and take the 5-minute respawn of the Raptors. Okay, that's great, but now you're going to lose Grub prior. Yeah, are we willing to lose Grub prior? In theory, we should assume from the Graves' perspective that the Lillia pathing upside. The thing is, the Graves has deep vision, so we know that she did not path that direction, which means he might think, hey, I actually have free. She going to wait for these? No, thank goodness. She going to gank this? Again, that's fine, but there's this fusion of... It's good. There's this fusion of, as a jungler... This is good. Like, this is fine. But this is an active decision to say, I am not matching the Graves top side. I'm not defending my top quadrant. I'm taking away his bottom side quadrant, at least some of it. And I'm giving up this objective for this play. I'm trusting my Draven more than I'm trusting myself here to kind of just ignore him. Because if you ignore him, and you take all of this, and you contest this, and you contest this, and you win it, sure, you'll be fed. Sure, you deny the enemy jungle. Sure, you get objectives, right? But how will your lanes be? So the Lillia takes a specific approach of, I'm going to now counter jungle, knowing he's top side. Then I'm going to kill bottom lane to snowball my Draven, which is always good. Now I can base and protect my camps. Graves says, okay, well, I know you most likely have now based. I'm going to try and steal your Raptors away from you. I think from Lillia's perspective, you kind of know that the Graves should be doing this. Maybe even he already did this as well. So I'm not a huge fan of kind of just blindly giving everything up here. I think I would still want to go to my Krugs. I'd still want to impact top lane. But at the same time, if you assume that the Graves has taken away your Raptors already, you got one camp up there, no grubs, no counter jungling opportunities. Why bother? Let him have it all. Sure, it's not great, but it will respawn. And my decision was to give this to Graves. Instead of jungle denying him, I decided to snowball my Draven, which is, again, an effective decision if you know how to play with the tempo afterwards. So we go to our bottom side. The Thresh roams to the mid lane. We are level 5 here, so we want to get the Scuttle Crab first. Take the Scuttle Crab first. You have level 6 for the fight. Now, if you get contested, you don't. That's just smart way to play. Take the Scuttle Crab first. Because Graves is just chilling. Like, he's okay with this. Your team are running interference, which they shouldn't be doing. Like, blue team should just give it up. That's what Graves is saying right now. He's saying, well, can you guys just give up the dragon? There's no point for any of this, because I'm getting fed here nicely. I've gotten the grubs. We're never going to be able to get that dragon in time. Just let them have it. That's what the Graves should be saying. Now he's pretty strong. Lillia, again, see, this is the thing. You could have gone topside. You could have gone topside. Raven, oh, that flash by the Thresh. I was waiting. Passive. Damage over time. So basically, she could have defended this and this. She chose to feed the Draven. She took a little bit of power out of her hands, gave it to the Graves and the Draven. Can she generate enough power back to be ahead of them, but also to kind of be there just in case Draven decides to enter and fall off? So let's see how it plays out. I do think that there's a bit of lack of conviction here, and obviously we've telegraphed where we're going next. This is a little risky. Graves could easily come and kill us. We should obviously push this wave out with our team just to make sure we can get the denial. If Draven wants to reset, if they're low, if they're healthy enough like this, you can leave them. Sorry, that was a bit of a bait. If they're low and they need to base, especially if you've gotten them fed, shove it with them. Don't let the Graves get clean up. Fall back to your Scuttle Crab afterwards. Cool. Otherwise, in this case, no stress leaving it alone. Draven, please base. Draven, please leave. Draven, I'm getting nervous. Graves actually go mid lane instead. Okay, he's fine. I'm being overly cautious for the Draven because when you lose that power, that Q is actually pretty juicy. Nicely done. Good gank, yeah. Draven actually lives. Hooray! I've seen way too many ADCs there stay, and then they die. But this is fine because the Blitzcrank gets run prior. Unfortunately, there's nothing to really do about it. And now Lillia's on the top side. So the Graves has done a really good job of offsetting what the Lillia is doing for the Draven. Draven is now already one item in. I don't like going Raptors, Red Krugs, because now you're pathing the opposite direction. You have to come all the way back down, so it's better to go like this, or just go for this directly. We know Graves is on top side, so I would probably like to gank this lane before Graves shows up, especially as the grubs are about to come up, and now the Graves is going to be here. I feel like this is a bit of a Nexus moment. There he is, yeah. It's exactly what we're worried about. We give the Graves time to sequence up, and that's, if you know you're going to be sequencing up as well, that's where you go before sequencing, right? Hey, I'm in Platinum and Emerald, and this jungler is going to path upside full clearing first. Why don't I just gank it before he gets there, take it away, and then I can clear afterwards, and now we have prior for grubs and more fights and all the good shit. Unfortunately, she does not do those things, and Graves does a really good job of countering this pressure. This is a decent matchup for both of them. Now she's just coin flipping, going straight up for the fight on the Graves. You know, if you win it, be my guest to go for this. If you don't win it, don't be my guest. And that's the advice. But how do I know if I should or shouldn't do it? If you know that your champion at this moment can kill the enemy jungler one-on-one and steal the grubs, do it. As long as you're not getting impacted by prio in any way, and it's just an isolated gladiatorial 1v1, then it's fine. Don't die, though. Just don't die. It's a high-risk play. You can just give them up. But I do feel like grubs will be really, really strong next patch. So obviously, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you do actually go for those grubbies. I think here we could just watch them, and then we could finish the grubs. That would have been the better play. Because now he has 4, which would give him mites, right? He has 4, which gives him mites. So you really want to try and deny that as much as possible, obviously. But it's fine. You'll take 2. They're still powerful. That goes in. You always have to speed up the Zac kills because champion a little gross. But they have no idea how to balance him. They keep nerfing and buffing the absolute wrong stuff. Really? It's amazing how they just don't know how to balance Zac. The first iteration where they nerfed his damage instead of nerfing the healing. Like, just nerf the healing, man. His damage has always been high, but the healing and the sustain was the problem in fusion together. And now, obviously, I think, you know, nerfing the healing, will you give him the damage back? No, probably. So it's just a weird thing. Happens with a lot of champions. Where they kind of nerf the wrong thing, then they nerf the right thing, but they don't rebuff the wrong thing, then the champion's weak or just in a sad spot, and then forget about them and let them rot, and that always sucks. So, Lillia comes out of base here. Obviously, that was a solid haul, apart from the death. Thresh is going on an adventure to the Dreamland. Graves is like, do we contest this dragon? Remember, if you cannot contest the dragon here, do not contest the dragon here. That sounds like very stupid advice, but it's very true at the same time. Oh, look, I stole it, and I get out. That's good. If I cannot do that, then don't. What I mean by this, before people go like, ha ha ha, is if you physically kind of get in the pit, get out of the pit without dying, and if you're compromising your team to go for the steal, don't. Carry on sequencing, look for other things, counter jungle, dive the top lane, get the herald, focus on other stuff, right? Your economy per minute is high. Because by waiting here to steal this, you're investing a lot of time that you could be using to gather resources somewhere else. You're basically banking on the fact that you can 100% steal this with your combo, and you can flash back over the wall, and it's worth for you. So when you do that, and you get the dragon, you get out, cool. As long as no one dies for it, it's all juicy. And of course here the Lillia does die, so loses the dragon and dies. Huge play by the Graves. That's what heroes do. Because the Lillia just did it up here, right? She almost killed him and took this, but the Graves, what did he do? He said, I'm out. I'm not dying for this. Like, if I lose these and I die, it's terrible. I'm not beating you 1v1 right now. I'm just going to retract, let you have them, I'll carry on with my life. Good play. Very good play by the Graves, honestly. Very good play. Yeah, sure, he's getting some freebies from the lanes, but this is what happens when the Lillia makes a few bad decisions. That's 2 deaths now. We've lost the dragon. We've lost farming tempo, and because of this, we're down 20 CS. And she shouldn't be. he didn't fully realize the snowball component of the Draven who's doing the juice now. See, this is a good 3v3. I feel like we should have left for this before the Grump. Like, there's no reason to finish the Grump as you see this. You watch this, you should already be moving over. You should already be cutting your ass down, and you've got the smite there at 900. So, like why, you know, look at this, it's 647. You could be down here already, have smited the sucker, and be present for this counter engage, and then 100% you got death because you have ult up. So if you hit that or Q flash onto all three of them, then you activate your ultimate, the Draven should be able to clean up with you. So this is a huge moment for the Lillia to say, look, I've had a good game, Graves has had a good game, but now's the moment to take this baby home. And she did not do it. She missed it because she wanted the Grump. I understand, but, you know, there's another Grump top lane in the Tom Kent. You got another one in your team. Sure, he'll forgive you for his species. Here we go. So now you're in the situation where you gotta be killing the Zac who's over pushing top lane. I mean, can you even kill the Zac at this particular stage? Yes, you can. But you cannot because Graves shows up and Zac is so far ahead and your Tom Kent is compromised. See, that's the thing, right? You snowballed the Draven, the Graves kind of shadowed and helped out with the Tom Kent, and the top laners are just doing their own thing. But we missed the opportunity to snowball the Jace as well, which is huge. And now you're again trying to go on the Zac. Like, this is all a waste of time. The amount of time that we've spent looking at her trying to kill the Zac, instead of taking this turret bottom lane and helping a Draven move around the map, is insane. Because it's 1622 and this guy's still down here, because it's a Ziggs. The guy needs you to take the turret. So instead of playing around this so much, let it be. It's a Zac. Let it be. Alright? You're a Lillia. When you get fed, you can deal with them. Go back to base. Cut down here and dive here. Dive here. Repeat gank here. Give up your top quadrant again. Let Graves take your top quadrant again. It doesn't matter. Because when you get all of this and you shove this, and now Draven can move around the map into these lanes, now the game is dangerous because your Draven is 8.1k gold. You've enabled him. Now enable him, if you get what I mean. But she didn't. She got him fed and then left him. And in yesterday's video, the previous video, if it wasn't yesterday, we talked about a gold jungler enabling her Yone top lane by the same mechanism, but I said that's not a good idea because it was too soon. Again, what did I say? If you can't contest it, don't contest it. And here she could not, and she could not get out, and so she dies. That's an astronomical throw. It's terrible, it's tilting, and we still haven't taken this as I jump forward to respawn. Does it make sense, though? Sometimes it's good to snowball the lane that you've gotten fed, and repeat gank it a lot more, and give the enemy jungler a few things. And sometimes it's better to deny the enemy jungler, leave the laner alone that you got him fed, in this case it was top lane, and then go and try and get a lead somewhere else also. So that balance between the gold video yesterday and the plat video yesterday, very similar MMRs, I think it's very important to understand the difference between, you know, snowballing the Yone and doubling down on that yesterday, where I didn't think it was the best play, and doing that exact same thing on the Draven here, where today I think it is the best play. And that's where you shift back and forth in your lanes and how you play the game as a jungler. And that's why it's a difficult role. That's it, guys. Because it's not cookie cutter, you know? Draven goes, the Thresh goes on an adventure. But like, look, we kill the Thresh again, right? Now we kill this guy again. Can we push the hell out of this bottom lane? Like, the dragon is not yet up, all right? Graves must be here. Let's go with the Blitzcrank. Let's look for plays. Let's push the map forward. No, we're drifting. There we go. Okay, a little bit. You know, like, we need to go ahead and take this turret. And Graves is just sitting there wave clearing. It's a good job. She's off doing Raptors going top lane again. And the Draven's like, please, can we take the turret? I'm fed. I want to move around the map. I want to do things in this life. And Zac can kill you both. Let the top laners sit on their island and fist each other. Just let them do it. You're not gaining anything here. And Graves is just gaining and gaining and gaining. What is he at? 7.8k gold. We're at 8.1. That's fine. Like, we're ahead in gold because we have more kills. But we've not translated that to objectives. We've not translated that to turrets. Whereas the only turret taken in this game is by the Zac. Oi. Graves gets that dragon as well. Ziggs is obnoxious, I get it, but like, you have a fed Draven and you didn't enable him properly. It's like you gave a guy, you know, a Lamborghini and you said, enjoy it. And he was like, thank you so much. I'm like, it's my pleasure to give you this Lamborghini. And then you take the car keys with you. Then he calls you and is like, can I have the car keys? You're like, yeah, I'll be there as soon as I can. I need to go and give a haircut to my to my skunk. You know, I own a skunk. I need to to make sure he's nice and trimmed and groomed. The next day, can you send me the cars to my Lamborghini? I'd really like to drive it. Like, thanks you for the gift, but it's just standing here, and my neighbors are looking at me a little funky because it's about the value of my house, and I'd like to take it for a drive so I don't think someone just left a free Lamborghini. And you say, I'll be there as soon as I can, but my chinchilla has a bit of a cold. I'm just stroking him and watching Gossip Girl all day, so I can't come today with the keys. And, the third day comes around and he says, well, can I have the keys from my Lamborghini? And you're like, you know what? I lost them. I'm sorry. You call Lamborghini and have them send you a new set of keys. I lost them. I'll pay for them. No stress. And the fourth day rolls around. He's like, I called Lamborghini for the keys. And I said, but the car's in your name. And he said, oof, that's rough. And you hang up on him. That's the end of the story. That's what you've done to the Draven. The guy's sitting here with a Lamborghini in his driveway and no way to ever drive it. And, he's going to die with this Lamborghini in his driveway. And in this case of League of Legends, you're just going to lose the game because he's upset with you and you never raced your Lamborghini. It's so stupid to realize that you've gotten this guy juiced and fed and you've just never used it. It's like those comedians always have the gimmick, right? Like they're just holding a thing as they sit on a stool or stand on a stage and never talk about it, never interact with it, and then they leave. You're like, but what was the point in the banana? And that's right, that's their thing. It's kind of the same thing, but in war. You got this big ass weapon, this rocket launcher, like this Korean rocket launcher in like the Middle Ages. No one else has seen a rocket launcher. I have no idea what the hell that thing is. It looks very scary, but you never use it. And then you lose the war. And they're like, why didn't you use it? You're like, forgot the rockets at home. It's so silly to me when you put it in these terms, how you can snowball a lane and just never have it do anything. Anyway, back to the game. So, this whole time we've been telling this nonsensical story, and everyone's just farming it up. No one's doing anything. Like I'm speedrunning these because honestly, you guys are going to be grateful I'm fast forwarding this top lane fight because this actually took 10 minutes. No joke, this fight took 10 whole minutes. We were watching this, so I had to speed it up. You can't kill him. You can't kill him. You're too far behind. Too far behind. Like Draven stays like, I am not leaving. This is my Lamborghini, and I'm gonna sit here next to it and live in it. I have to sell my house just to make sure it doesn't explode randomly. Like this is a perfect. Now the Zac shows up. Finally, he's like, oh my god, no. Really, just no one's doing anything. And then everyone finally goon squads the bottom lane. We don't even need to replay that. It's obvious what happened. Eventually, blue team was like, we're bored. Can we just take your Lamborghini because you're not using it, so we're just gonna steal it, right? Down goes Draven. I've never seen someone get a Draven fed and compromise their own win con and allow a Graves to get free farm a little bit and then just not use it and instead uses all the power on top lane. Now they do go back to base and they get a dragon. Cool, good for you. All right, there's Zac now, pretty damn strong. Jace is not even in the game. Like you just let the Zac free farm because here's the thing: you went top lane 1,000 times, nothing came of it, and so he got stronger as a Zac. You got weaker, and everyone else on the blue team got stronger. So where you spend your time as a jungler is so damn important because when you spend it incorrectly and you don't actually shut people down and play around your win condition, you'll lose every game. Oh, this is funny. Just a slow loss now. There's nothing happening. I know I'm speedrunning it, but the red team don't have any power anymore. And it's just about red team going all in and getting the kills, except apparently there, where they wanted to die. Took the Baron, Xerath across the wall, Ziggs is now fed. They just stalled. Blue team just stalled until Xerath and Ziggs came online and Zac just kept getting fed and Graves was like, I'm strong now too. And blue team were like, yes, please, keep doing that. Please, enter our base, good gentlemen. Come, take our inhibitors, kill our minions, yes. Drink our coffee. Drink all the caffeinated coffee. Leave us only decaf. Please do it, sir. Like this, I don't understand the logic. It's just LCS. You're just watching things slowly end without doing anything, without putting up a fight. Because you keep playing the wrong win con. You path to the wrong side, you give up too much. In a nutshell, between the gold coaching that we had and the platinum coaching that we have here, this is the mid-MMR struggle. And this is why junglers don't carry through or climb through. And now they overstay and everybody dies and then they take the Nexus. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A story of Platinum junglers, jungle denial, win conditions, Lamborghini, skunks, and chinchillas. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next one. With hopefully less stories. Or more stories.